Greetings, everyone. This is Cactus, and welcome back to my channel. Today's fanfic discussion revolves around an exciting topic: what if Goku married Caulifla? Part 2. Disclaimer: the content on this channel is strictly for entertainment and discussion purposes only. I do not claim ownership of any anime footage featured in my videos. All rights and credits belong to their respective creators and copyright holders. Without further ado, let's dive right in. POV Caulifla. Goku left the house, and as usual, I followed him. During my time here on Earth, I've gotten to know him better, but there's something about being around him that makes me feel both comfortable and uneasy at the same time. What is it about him that causes this nervousness? As always, we engaged in some light sparring, a way to release energy, and afterward, we headed to the river to wash up. "Hey Cauli, are you going to join me this time?" He'd asked me this before, and of course, I declined. The idea of being unclothed in front of him made me even more anxious. But this time, for some reason, my response was different. "Alright, I'll join you," I said, beginning to undress. I could feel the heat rising to my face. This was the first time I was disrobing in front of anyone, let alone a man. I didn't know why I was doing it, but there I was, without a single piece of clothing, standing in the river with him. We washed in silence, and I was incredibly tense. The cool water had a soothing, almost massaging effect, but my mind was racing. Why do I feel this way around Goku? I couldn't find an answer. "Ah, this feels like coming back to life," Goku said as he stood up, seemingly unconcerned by my presence. His carefree attitude struck me. It was impressive how comfortable he was. I had never seen a man like this before, and well, let's just say he was imposing. "Still washing up, Caulifla?" he asked, noticing my lingering in the water. I had finished long ago, but I was too nervous to move. I didn't want to leave the water until he was dressed. Goku stepped out of the river, his aura flaring briefly to dry himself off before he began dressing. I hurried to finish, hoping he wouldn't see me. "Why are you so shy?" he asked, his voice full of innocence. He wasn't teasing, just genuinely curious. Goku is so pure. Later, we returned to the house to rest, spending some time together on the sofa where I usually sleep. We talked, and the conversation took a surprising turn. Goku started talking about fear during his battles, something I never expected to hear from him. "Trust me, Cauli, I'm always afraid. When I fight, it's usually because something important is at stake, the planet, someone's life. It's a huge responsibility, and I often think, what if I lose? What happens next? Does someone die? Does the planet get destroyed? Do my children follow me to the other world? The pressure is real. But once the fight starts, the fear transforms into excitement." "Was there ever a time you didn't feel fear in battle?" I asked, curious. "Yes, when I fought you," he said with a smile. "It was exhilarating. I could sense your potential, even though I knew you weren't quite at my level yet. You had so much untapped power. After I gave everything I had to defeat Jiren, I wasn't sure I could fight again. But seeing another Super Saiyan challenging me, just out of curiosity, that was something entirely new. I felt nothing but excitement." His words hit me hard. I hadn't expected him to say that, and it stirred something deep within me. But the surprises didn't end there. He looked at me with a softness in his eyes, and then, completely out of nowhere, he said, "Caulifla, you're really beautiful, you know that?" I was caught off guard, but what happened next was even more unexpected. Our faces began to draw closer, inch by inch, until our lips met. Goku and I. We kissed. It was my first kiss, and I had given it to him, my teacher, a married man. We pulled apart, and I didn't know what to think or feel. Part of me had wanted it, though I knew it was wrong. I just wanted to disappear in that moment. "Cauli, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to," he stammered. "No, it's fine." I think we should get some rest now," I quickly replied, trying to brush it off. "Yeah. See you tomorrow," he said, still uncertain. What in the world just happened? Somehow, I managed to fall asleep despite everything that transpired. When I woke up, Goku made a surprising proposal. "Hey, I think we're done with your training for now. I've taught you all I can. How about we take this week off and just relax? We can spend the time together in the woods, and then on the weekend, we'll have your final test, an all-out fight. What do you think?" "Goku, are you asking me out?" I asked, confused. "I just want to spend time with you. Is that so wrong?" He responded with his usual innocence. "No, it's not. Actually, you know what? Let's go." And just like that, The unexpected journey continued. As I reflected on the previous night, I thought, no more hiding it. Why did I kiss Goku? Because I like him, more than I realized. It was the first time anything like that had ever happened to me, and I wasn't sure how to react. I decided to let things unfold naturally. Goku's marriage to Chi-Chi had been strained for some time, and I wondered if he felt the same way I did during our kiss. We had been on a hike, searching for a campsite for the week when I asked him about his marriage. His response surprised me. He told me that he had promised to marry Chi-Chi because she asked, and he had misunderstood, thinking it had something to do with food. "Is that why you're so distant?" I asked. "What do you mean? I don't think you're in love with Chi-Chi. You're always with me, you talk about me constantly, and, well, we kissed last night. Do you need to love someone to marry them?" Goku asked. "I thought we were just really close friends." I was taken aback. "What are you saying, Goku? Chi-Chi never." "My kiss last night was my first, Caulifla," he admitted. "I didn't know what to expect, but I really liked it." "It was my first too," I confessed, feeling the weight of the moment. We kissed again, this time more passionately. Goku's perspective. All of this had been an emotional whirlwind. With Caulifla, I could be myself and experience emotions I never thought possible. She called it love, something married people were supposed to feel. Yet, I hadn't felt that with Chi-Chi for a long time. What I felt with Caulifla was different, deeper, and it might explain why I had asked her to join me on this week-long journey into the wilderness. As the night grew darker, my stomach reminded me it was time to eat. I remembered a river nearby where I used to hunt as a child, and wondered if we could still find food there. "So, Kali, what do you think about catching dinner?" I asked. "How?" she replied, intrigued. "Let's go hunting. Have you ever tried?" "Hunting sounds like fun," she said with enthusiasm. "At the end of this river is the sea, where sharks swim. Let's make a game of it, whoever brings back a shark first wins. And the winner gets to start tomorrow's fight in their Super Saiyan form, while the loser stays in base form?" she suggested with a playful smirk. "I like the sound of that. But don't think I'll lose," I said, already excited. "Let's see about that," she teased. We both flew off at lightning speed, neck and neck the entire way. I had taught her well, she was a formidable competitor. We reached the sea together, quickly spotting a pair of sharks and catching them with ease. I was impressed by how good she was at hunting, it caught me off guard. As we flew back to our campsite, she suddenly shouted, "Kayakin." "What? That's not fair," I exclaimed. "You never said I couldn't use it." "See you at the campsite," she laughed, speeding off ahead of me. Not wanting to be outdone, I used Kayakin X4 to close the distance, but it was too late, she arrived first. "Ah, you played dirty," I said, half serious. "Lesson 1, I always find a way to win," she grinned. We sat by the fire and cooked our sharks, savoring the meal. "First time eating shark, and I have to say, it's amazing," Caulifla remarked. "I told you. It's one of my favorites," I said proudly. As we ate, she opened up about her past. "You've told me all about your battles, but what about you? What's the most memorable fight you've had on Showdown?" I asked. She paused for a moment before answering, "It has to be my first fight. No one took me seriously at first. I was the first woman to join the gang, and I only got in because I was the former leader's sister. They didn't respect me until I proved them wrong. During my first mission, we fought a rival gang. It was 5 against 1, but I had just perfected my crushing cannon technique. I took them all down in one shot, and from then on, I earned their respect." "Incredible. When did you become the leader?" I asked. 4 years later. My brother Renzo stepped down, and I took over. It wasn't easy, many thought I was just there because of my brother. But I proved them wrong. The scions on Showdown are stronger than ever." I could hear a hint of dissatisfaction in her voice. "You don't sound completely happy about it," I said. "I love leading the gang, showing my strength to my peers and rivals, but it's hard to get the respect I deserve. Some of them only care about my appearance. I've been proposed to countless times, but none of them were serious. It made me question love and relationships." "And now?" I asked, sensing a shift. "Now? Who knows? Maybe I'll find someone who's right for me." "What kind of person would that be?" "My ideal partner would be someone I look up to, someone stronger than me, who challenges me and cares about me." I wasn't sure, but it felt like she might have been talking about me. I couldn't quite process it, so I pretended to be tired and headed to sleep, my mind racing with confusion. The next morning, I woke to the warm rays of the sun, only to find Caulifla resting her head on my chest. She stirred awake, suddenly realizing our position. How did I end up here? I'm sorry, Goku, she said, embarrassed. Don't worry about it, I said softly. I don't mind. We begin the day with a light breakfast of fruits before heading to the hyperbolic time chamber for our final showdown. Upon entering, Caulifla is taken aback by the vast, empty space. I offer her some crucial advice before we start. I need to explain a few things. One day here is equivalent to a year outside, so while minutes may pass outside, we will be fighting for days in here. This space is isolated from the real world, but be cautious, if we perish here, we die out there as well. It's the same in both realms, and finding our way back won't be easy if we lose track. Don't worry, big guy, she replied with a faint blush on her face. I wondered if it had anything to do with our conversation last night. Caulifla, why is your face turning red? Did I say something wrong? No, Goku, it's just. No one's ever cared about me like this, not even my own brother. Well, I do care about you, Caulifla. Thanks. For a moment, we stood there, Caulifla looking down with her face flushed, while I found myself gazing at her. What is happening to me? She is undeniably beautiful, but the feeling goes beyond that. It's as if something deeper stirs within me, something I can't fully comprehend. Shall we begin, Caulifla? Sure. Caulifla's POV. I quickly slap my cheeks to regain focus. What is happening to me? When Goku explained the rules, I blushed, and when he told me he cared. Could this really be happening? No, it couldn't be. Right? No matter. It's time for the rematch. After all our training, I'm eager to see if I can unlock Ultra Instinct. Goku has spent the past month mastering his control over the transformation, which he claims is the angel's domain, surpassing even the gods. We both get into our fighting stances, and without hesitation, I transform into Super Saiyan. Hey, what's that look for? Still thinking about how I outhunted you last night? Completely forgot about that. Ready, big guy? This will be way more fun than our last battle in the tournament, Goku said, and I couldn't agree more. Adrenaline coursed through me as Goku flared his aura, and we charged at each other with full intent to battle. To my surprise, he transformed into Super Saiyan immediately. Wait, you're starting in Super Saiyan already? You didn't expect that, did you? Our fists collided, sending shockwaves through the chamber, the echo of our strikes filling the empty void. I managed to gain some space with a kick to his head and quickly unleashed a barrage of ki blasts. As the dust cleared, I couldn't sense Goku's energy. Clever, he's suppressing his ki to hide from me. I pushed further by ascending to Super Saiyan 2 and releasing my Crush Cannon, launching multiple spheres of energy in his direction. When they hit, I heard him cry out. Of course, Goku countered by transforming into Super Saiyan 2 to withstand the attack. He charged at me, and our back and forth continued for what felt like hours. Eventually, he gained the upper hand, sending me flying. Not wanting to waste the moment, he transformed into Super Saiyan 3 and came at me relentlessly. Now it's time to end this. Dragon Fist, he roared. I saw a golden dragon emerge from his fist as he charged. Panicked, I pushed myself to turn into Super Saiyan 3, barely managing to deflect the attack. This isn't fair, Goku. You never taught me that move. Well, it's my signature technique, after all. But you held your own, that's impressive. Darn right I did. Now, let's see how you handle this. I caught Goku off guard with a powerful ki blast, knocking him back before launching another Crush Cannon. Though he managed to block most of it, a few spheres hit him, and we continued battling for what felt like months. Eventually, we both reached our peak forms, Super Saiyan Blue for Goku and Super Saiyan Rose for me. After an intense exchange, we prepared our ultimate techniques. Super. Crushing. Kamehameha. We both yelled. Goku's wave collided with my energy, creating a massive explosion. Exhausted, we reverted to our base god forms. I was about to relax when I noticed Goku smiling, his energy shifting. Wait. Is that Ultra Instinct? I asked as silver light began to radiate around him. Looks like I finally mastered it, he replied. Darn it, I was hoping to save this for last. Huh? You're? That's right. Ready for the final round? Absolutely. Though I hadn't truly mastered Ultra Instinct, I was able to mimic the angelic energy flow, giving me just enough control to fight on. We continued trading blows until Goku unleashed his final technique. Kamehameha. X10. The red wave of energy surged toward me, but I was quick to dodge and prepare my own counter. Final. Flash. Our final attacks collided, signaling the end of this incredible battle. Using a powerful move I had learned from Vegeta, I hit Goku with all my strength, and to my surprise, I knocked him out. I couldn't believe it, I had actually defeated Goku. As the intensity of the fight wore off, I dropped from my Ultra Instinct form back to my regular self, feeling the exhaustion hit me as I knelt down to catch my breath. You really beat me, Goku said with a grin, slowly sitting up. Wow, Caulifla, that was amazing. Now I've got to train even harder to keep up with you. You went from being a weaker fighter in the Tournament of Power to becoming my student, then my best friend, and now my rival. And you used Vegeta's move. That's impressive. Thanks, Goku, I smiled, still feeling proud of the victory. I couldn't have done it without your training. Hey, I'm happy to help, Goku chuckled. Well, how about we clean up, get some rest, and then head out tomorrow? Sounds good to me. I nodded. We walked back to the entrance area where there were a couple of hidden rooms for showers and rest. We both washed up, separately, of course, and got ready to rest. It felt strange, I had been training so hard for over a month, and now I was about to sleep in a real bed for the first time since arriving here. When I entered the bedroom, I noticed something funny, it only had one king-sized bed. Goku, I said hesitantly, there's just one bed. I see that, Goku said, scratching his head. I can sleep on the floor if that makes you more comfortable. It's no problem. No, that's okay, I said quickly. You can sleep next to me if you want. There's plenty of room. Alright, thanks, Goku said with a big grin. We both climbed into the bed, Goku still in his usual orange clothes and me in my training outfit. Even though we were tired, neither of us fell asleep right away. I glanced over at Goku and noticed him already looking at me. His cheerful smile made me feel at ease. You know, Caulifla, Goku said, you're one of the best fighters I've ever trained with. I'm really glad we became friends. Thanks, Goku, I replied, feeling warm inside. I'm glad too. We shared a moment of quiet friendship, both of us grateful for the bond we had formed through our training and adventures. Soon enough, the exhaustion from the day caught up with us, and we both fell asleep peacefully, ready to face whatever challenges awaited us tomorrow. POV Goku. When I woke up the next day, Caulifla was already awake, looking over at me. Good morning, Goku. Good morning. Did you sleep well? I asked, feeling a bit disoriented from the long night. I don't think I've ever slept better, she responded with a warm smile. I couldn't help but reflect on the time we had spent together. Our bond had grown deeper than I ever imagined. It felt like something more than friendship, like real love. As I began to stretch and gather my thoughts, something in the room caught my eye, the calendar. It displayed the date as day 43. Caulifla? I called out, my tone tinged with confusion. She was by the mirror, fixing her hair when I got her attention. Yeah, Goku? What's up? Do you remember what day it was when we first entered here? She thought for a moment before replying, day 36, why? I pointed to the calendar, and her eyes widened when she saw the date. Whoa! Have we really been training here for a week? She asked, looking just as surprised as I was. Looks like it, I said, still in disbelief. After a brief pause, I turned to her, feeling the weight of my thoughts. Caulifla, there's something I need to talk to you about. I know I have responsibilities back home with Chi-Chi. But my feelings for you are real. I care about you deeply, and I need to figure out what the right thing is to do. She gave me a soft smile. Are you thinking about leaving her? Yeah, I admitted. I believe it's best for everyone if I talk to Chi-Chi and be honest about how I feel. Caulifla hugged me tightly, reassuring me with her presence. After we got dressed, we left the hyperbolic time chamber, stronger both physically and emotionally. As we flew back toward Mount Pozu, my mind raced with how to handle this difficult situation. Caulifla, I think it might help to talk to Bulma and Vegeta, I suggested. She looked surprised. Why would we do that? Bulma's really smart, and Vegeta is the Prince of Scions. They might have some advice, I explained. It's better than going to Chi-Chi without a plan. Caulifla thought for a moment. I have another idea. Why don't you come to planet Sodala with me? I was taken aback by her suggestion but found myself excited at the thought. Spending time with Caulifla and experiencing a new world sounded like the adventure I needed. That could work, I said with a smile. When we arrived at Mount Pozu, I felt more nervous than I had ever felt before, more than during any battle. I took a deep breath, knowing this conversation was going to change everything. As we walked into the house hand in hand, everyone gathered around. Goten was the first to run up and greet me with excitement, and I felt a pang of guilt knowing what I was about to say. Gohan and Videl were there too, and even Chi-Chi was watching, waiting for me to speak. Goku, you've been gone for 2 weeks, and now you come back like this. Is there something you need to tell me? Chi-Chi asked, her voice filled with uncertainty. I nodded and spoke, my heart heavy but determined. Chi-Chi, I've come to realize something during my time with Caulifla. I've learned what it truly means to care for someone, and I believe it's best for me to move on. I'm planning to leave and start a new chapter in my life. Gohan and the others looked shocked, but I knew deep down that this was the right path for me. Now, I just had to face the next steps. Chi-Chi, I've come to realize something important. Loving someone means accepting them for who they truly are. I was born as Kakarot, a Saiyan, and I have a passion for fighting. But it's not just fighting for the sake of it. I fight to protect the people I care about, and I train to make sure I'm ready for any challenge. You've always wanted me to be something else, like a farmer, but that's not who I am. I fight, Chi-Chi. That's a part of me. You never seemed to accept that, and instead of being supportive, you were often upset whenever I had to go fight to protect our world. Of course, I was upset. Chi-Chi interrupted. Why would I be happy about fighting? It doesn't help us financially, and the world is at peace now. There's no need to keep fighting. I wanted a normal, peaceful family, but instead, everything changed once that girl came into the picture. Goku sighed. So, it's my fault now? He asked, feeling a familiar tension rise. Yes, it is. Everything was fine until she came along and influenced you. Caulifla, growing frustrated, chimed in. Let's review some facts, Chi-Chi. You met Goku when you were kids and wanted to marry him after he knocked you down during a sparring match. Then, years later, you met him again at a tournament, and he agreed to marry you because he thought it was a food-related promise. That was your connection, fighting brought you together, and yet, you've always tried to change him. But think for a moment, if Goku had stopped fighting after you got married, do you think you'd be here today? Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, they could have destroyed everything if it weren't for him. Chi-Chi looked shaken but still didn't speak. For once, instead of being angry at him for his nature, Caulifla continued, maybe try thanking him for saving the world. But. Chi-Chi stammered. No buts, Chi-Chi, Goku said calmly, though with a firm tone. You were never grateful. Every time I came back from protecting our world, you were angry with me instead of appreciating that I was fighting to keep everyone safe. He took a deep breath, his voice softening but remaining steady. I think it's time for a change. I've made up my mind, I'm leaving, and I'm filing for a divorce. I need to live the life that's true to who I am, and Caulifla has helped me see that. Chi-Chi was stunned. You can't be serious. I am, Goku replied, his decision unwavering. I'm sorry for Gohan and Goten, but I can't keep living this way. I need to be appreciated for what I do, and I can't do that here. He turned to Gohan. Can you help me with the paperwork? I think it's called a divorce. Gohan, though shocked by the situation, agreed. They traveled to the city, sat down at a lawyer's office, and completed the process. Goku and Chi-Chi's marriage was officially over, with Goten staying in Chi-Chi's custody. For Goku, this marked a huge turning point in his life as he prepared to leave Earth and start anew on planet Sodala, following his true calling. That's all for today, everyone. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you for watching. Best regards. Cactus.